United Artists Channel 63 presents the United Artists Sports High School Football Game of the Week.
Tonight, from Kimball High School, it's the Southfield Blue Jays taking on the Kimball Knights. Good evening, everyone. Dave Zorin along with Bob Griglak here at Kimball High School, where tonight a great matchup in the SMA. Two teams, 2-0, and they begin conference play. Bob, a big matchup tonight.
It should be an exciting game. Both teams undefeated, of course. They don't want to make a lot of mistakes, and that's going to be the key to the game. Who makes the least amount of mistakes is going to win this game.
All right, a lot of returning players for the Kimball Knights, and that's going to help them. 14 players from last year's team.
They've got a pretty decent-sized team. They're going to keep the ball on the ground, I think, and if they're going to throw with the wind, which will be a factor today.
Okay, we had a lot of rain earlier today before the game. We'll see how that plays out as well. We'll be back with the kickoff right after these messages.
If you're in business, you know this sound is music to your ears. And maybe you'd like to hear that sweet sound of success more often. Whatever your business, one of the most efficient ways to increase it is to advertise on cable TV. Cable TV targets your sales message to buyers in your shopping area. Affordably, effectively. Cable TV advertising. It works. Call United Artists Cable Advertising today.
Welcome back to Kimball High School, where tonight the Kimball Knights host the Southfield Blue Jays. Both teams 2-0 coming into this contest, Bob, and the Southfield Blue Jays bring an experienced backfield, although head coach Cal Fletcher says that his defense has been doing well. As we take a look at last year's records, Southfield 5-4 in the conference, 4-3 overall. That should be reversed. Kimball was 2-7 overall and 2-5 in the conference. Those should be reversed as well. But both teams coming into this contest, both teams coming in with a great record of 2-0. But both victories for both teams coming in a non-conference play. Now they get into the tough SMA.
Well, I think both teams have bring a lot of experience to this game, particularly Southfield with their backfield. But Kimball has 14 returning starters. And basically have a senior-laden team, so it should be a really good game in regards to people not making mistakes, but mistakes could kill either team. Southfield does make a lot of mistakes because they pitch the ball out quite a bit on the options, so we'll see what happens. The field's in good shape. We had rain earlier, and we get set for the game.
You saw the return men, but they're going to kick it on a low squiv kick, and the Blue Jays will fall on it there at about the 31, 32-yard line. And the Blue Jays will get the first possession of this contest. Their quarterback, Michael Henry, number 1. The backfield with the fullback, Jeffrey Rush. David Caldwell will be in there, along with Terrence McEvans, number 33. They run the wishbone, and they will pass occasionally. We have had this matchup on our contest a few years in a row. Here is the head coach, Terry Powers, of the Kimball Knights. And looking to contain that option play. They show a different variation of the wishbone with the tailback deep in the backfield, and the Kimball Knights get penetration and stop number 32, Nakia Dexter, at the line of scrimmage. So no gain. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Let's take a look at this one, Bob.
You're going to see here there's good penetration. He allows him to get into the backfield. Eric Nowakowski, number 50, is going to come up and make an excellent tackle around the ankles. Take a look right here. He's going to grab a hold and hold on. It's a good tackle right there for little to no gain.
And a good tackle from behind, Nowakowski. Eric Nowakowski. Good turnout here for this contest, and probably one of the better matchups we're going to have this season. We've got some good ones for you, though, this year. Here's that wishbone with an I formation look. It's Nakia again, breaks into the backfield. He could be gone. He is. Nakia Dexter with a big touchdown run of 68, 69 yards, and it puts the Southfield Blue Jays up 6-0 just like that.
Big play there, particularly on the defense. They're running a 4-3 on the defense, and what they do basically here is they trap one of the linebackers coming across. You take a look here, they let the penetration come through on the handoff, and it's a straight shot right up the middle, and he just outruns everybody. Excellent play. 68 yards for Nakia Dexter, and he showed a lot of speed.
We saw Dexter on this team last year. Now to do the kicking is Terrence McEvans. Now McEvans with a straight-on kick, and he'll get it through. And Cal Fletcher is very happy with the kicking of Terrence McEvans. There's a story behind that.
We got to thank his aunt, or at least Cal's got to thank his aunt for buying him a square shoe. And this shoe supposedly has added 20 yards to his distance as well as helped his accuracy. So he's going to be kicking today, and you saw right there, he had a good strong foot and made the game 7-0.
And there's the score, 7-0 here in the first quarter, and the first possession for the Southfield Blue Jays. Not really running the true wishbone formation that we saw.
Well, you know, early in the game, the defense has a tendency to over-pursue, and what happened there was they did over-pursue on that particular play and turn their backs to the ball. When you lose sight of the ball, you have a tendency of having a guy run right by you. Cal Fletcher's got to be happy with the start of his team here.
He's still pacing the sideline, though.
Oh, he was a little nervous before the game. You know, we've done several of his games over the years. He's been coaching now for 25 years, and he was telling us earlier that he was a little nervous.
There he is to the left of your screen. And he's always a lot of fun to talk to before the games. The Blue Jays with the kickoff. It bounces to about the 15-yard line, taken there, and a good return. Power running by number 32, Wisniewski. Wisniewski, we will see offensively, he's the big tailback for the Kimball Knights. And another man to look out for is their receiver. Let's take a look at the scoring drive, Bob. Only 2 plays, 1:16 the time of possession, 69 yards.
Whoa.
Very reminiscent of what we saw last week to start the game.
Well, exactly. The big play is going to make the big difference here. But, you know, both teams will settle down. It's still early in the game, and you're going to find a big difference as we go through. Kimball's got a lot of seniors, so they'll come back. They put together a good drive here. We're back in the ballgame.
So Southfield scores first with 10:37 left in the first quarter. 2 tailbacks split, and this will go to number 47, the other back. And the Kimball Knights start off with a gain of about 2 yards. It'll be 2nd and 8 coming up. Brad Martin, the quarterback, and watch for number 16, Kevin Nichols.
Southfield doesn't do anything special in defense, but what they do is they swarm to the ball. And what that basically means is you've got 2 or 3 tacklers on every play, and you're not going to break a big play after that type of situation, a la Barry Sanders, where it takes 4 or 5 guys to tackle him. They will send 4 or 5 guys after him.
This time the handoff goes to number 32, and that is Wisniewski. The other back in there, number 47, with him is Mike Johnson. And Wisniewski picks up the first down for the Kimball Knights.
Going against what I just said, unfortunately, 2 or 3 guys had a shot at him right here. Take a look as he goes through the line. Well, he was kind of blocked off the ball, so he kind of ran into the pile and broke loose. So really nobody had a chance at him until the defensive back tackled him.
Really, that was a good decision on where to run. You saw him stop, plant his feet, and pick a hole. Really, there wasn't much of a hole there.
It was a stop-and-go move, which was excellent, especially on a little wet surface like this.
Power I formation now for the Knights. Fake to the tailback, and he will pass. Martin incomplete, intended out there for Jay Swan, the wide receiver, number 25.
Not a bad play. He was open. It was a good rollout play, so you're not going to get a lot of pressure on the quarterback. We're going to take a look right here. He's got time to throw the ball. I don't think he sets up right. Let's take a look.
It's a good deep drop back, though.
Well, he had a play action pass, so he had a lot of time. He's got the time. He does set up well, just a little bit overthrown. He was open.
Had his man open.
Yeah. Keep in mind, too, they're going with the wind. The wind is blowing from our left to right, which is going toward where they're going. So they have the wind at their back. They've got a good chance of throwing the ball in the series.
Power I formation again. Martin with the handoff to number 23 in there, Hartman. Daryl Hartman looked like. Or correction, number 25, Jay Swan.
Good swarming defense for Southfield. They had 4 or 5 guys on that tackle.
Swan working as a flanker and also in the backfield for Martin.
Here's a big play right here, Dave. 3rd down and long. They have to establish either a passing game or let's see if they go back to the run.
3rd and about 8 coming up. Martin to pass. Has some time now, pressured. Unloads, and a little bit behind his intended receiver, Kevin Nichols.
I'll tell you
He
what.
had 2 receivers in the same location.
That particular play showed some skill on number 33 for Southfield. Watch Terrence McEvans here go over his back and tip the ball at the last second. There's 2 receivers in the area, in the zone right there. And as he rolls out, he doesn't know which one to throw to at first, but he needs the first down. So he has to throw it to the back receiver. Watch McEvans right over the top, tips the ball, incomplete pass.
And a punting down now, 4th and about 8. And they will punt. McLaughlin to punt, and it's a good one. It'll go down to the 20, taken up there by number 33, McEvans, and he doesn't get far with it. So McEvans, who kicked the extra point, comes on to do some returning. Cal Fletcher said he will not see too much action tonight, but he is one of their big backs.
Jeff Corrado threw him one way and he went the other way. It was kind of an interesting tackle, but he got the job done.
Don't forget to tune in next week when the Rochester Falcons travel to Troy, Athens to take on the Red Hawks. A good matchup there for you on an exciting 1992 season of high school football right here on 63. Man in motion for the Blue Jays. The handoff, though, goes to the fullback right up the middle. And that time it was number 42 in there. Glenn Bloodsaw, excuse me.
What the wishbone does for Southfield, it gives them many points of attack. You've got the initial point of attack. We're going to have a timeout here. I'll get back to this in a second. But the basic key to this wishbone attack is that you've got 3 options: the fullback, the quarterback, and the pitch man. He also can throw off the wishbone. So it can make it a real versatile attack. You've got a lot of opportunity for fumbles or interceptions in the attack. However, it can break a big play like we saw the second play of the game.
They did. They went right up the middle. Usually when you've got a wishbone, that is the key play. The fullback is the key player. You either give it to him or pull it out and go with the other back on the option. And it worked for them in the first drive on the second play. Don't forget to tune in to Transition. Jeffrey Miller hosts Transition, a show designed to give perspective to African-American issues. Past shows have had interviews with Louis Farrakhan, John Conyers, and yes, Coleman Young. So watch Transition right here on Channel 63.
Oh, please don't get me on TV.
Little camera shy down there. As the sun goes down on a Friday night here in Royal Oak. A torrential downpour really earlier today.
I was caught in the middle of it.
The field looks like it's in great condition right now.
It is in great condition. We checked it before the game, but as it gets colder, it could get a little slippery.
2nd down and 6 now for the Blue Jays. Handoff to the tailback who slipped in the backfield, and it is Dexter again. Dexter gains a couple this time. It'll be 3rd and about 4.
You're going to see Ben Polska. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but Ben, forgive me if I didn't. He's going to make an excellent tackle this time. He fights off 2 blockers and gets in on the tackle. Good play.
Pascala is the
Me.
tackler. Outside linebacker and, or rather defensive lineman.
He fought off 2 linemen that time and still got in on the tackle. I was impressed with that.
The senior captain.
6'1", 215, so he's got the size to do it.
Now you see the true wishbone formation, and they fake to the fullback, and there we see the true play that we're looking for as Michael Henry takes it himself for the first down. We mentioned the fullback is the key to a wishbone offense, and that's what they did. Let's take a look, Bob, and call it here.
Also, the fake's the key. Now watch Michael Henry right here. Here's the fake. Everybody thinks the fullback's got the ball. He pulls it back and makes a nice leap right here for the first down. Remember, when you get off your feet like that, you're putting yourself in position to get really smacked. So you got to be careful with that.
And that is why the fullback is such a key. They will fake it, and now a blitz as everybody was coming for the Kimball Knights, and they stopped him cold, no gain, and it'll be a 2nd down and 10 coming up.
Here's a key play right here for the Kimball Knights. They run a 4-3 defense. They can shoot a lot of linebackers, shoot a lot of gaps. When you're going to run a draw play or a screen pass you can get in real big trouble defensively if you run those linebackers up the gap. If you run the draw play, you can get stopped. So we'll see what Mr. Powers does right here. He's the man who's going to make the call. Will he shoot somebody?
Basically,
he does.
No gain. They do, and they call it right. No, they don't. Fake to the fullback, and the quarterback takes it himself again. Michael Henry. And again, the key is faking it to the fullback and pulling it out and taking it himself. And it has worked effectively on this drive.
Michael Henry's been there before. He's got a lot of experience back there in the backfield. And I'll tell you what, he's one of the most elusive quarterbacks we've seen doing these games over the years. He's got a lot of speed and knows what he's doing.
Henry again out of the wishbone. This time gives it to the fullback, no gain. That's Jeffrey Bush, the fullback for the Blue Jays.
That play sets up other plays. Don't get discouraged when they don't get a yard or two on first down, because what it'll do for them, it'll set up a fake later on for one of the outside men for the pitch or the quarterback to go out. So that's an important play.
So 2nd and long now. Going out is Michael Terry out to the top of the screen as a receiver. And at tight end is number 88, Anthony Austin.
Here come the linebackers. Watch them.
And off to the tailback. Spinning is Dexter for about 4 yards. Let's see where they mark it. And gain of about 3, so it'll be 3rd and about 7 coming up.
One bad thing when you send linebackers, if they get through the initial surge, the defensive back's got to make the tackle. Rob Birchmeyer makes a nice stick in the back right there. Got to be careful with that helmet, because I'll tell you what, they will call spearing.
And Birchmeyer got a good hit in there. 3rd and about 7 coming up. Blue Jays lead 7-0. Fake to the fullback, and he's going deep into the end zone. He's got him, he's open, and just not enough to get there. Trying to get back there was Birchmeyer on the coverage.
He was open. I'll tell you what, Dave, what happened there, we're in the dust situation. You know, right now it's very difficult to see the ball. You've got the lights coming on, the sun is already set, and right now is going to be the toughest time of the day in order to get good sight on the ball. And I think what happened is the ball came back over the Kimball defender. He just lost sight of it.
So 4th down now, and about 7 coming up.
No surprise that Cal Fletcher's going for this. He hasn't kicked a field goal, he said, 1 in 25 years.
Until last week. He did kick one last week.
He might have the first down here. Can he get around? No.
He is short of the first down. That is Nakia Dexter again.
And Birchmeyer made a great play there to cut the angle down and push him out of bounds before he got the first down. Excellent play.
So it is a first down, but it's going the other way for the Kimball Knights.
That's one way to call it. Good speed in the backfield for the Kimball Knights. I'm really impressed with the way they close in on the ball. We had mentioned Terry Powers talked before the game. He said it's probably the fastest defensive secondary he's had since he's coached here for 3 years.
Probably one of the best ones. And there we see Terry Powers looking on, the head coach here, coming in with a 7-11 record overall. This is 3rd year. To the air, quickly and complete. And a first down, and a flag is down as well to big number 83, Lance Sanders. Sanders reminds you a lot of Kellen Winslow. I don't know if you remember Kellen Winslow. He's got that type of size.
I think he was bumped just before he made the catch, and it looks like they are going to call it, but it's going to be an automatic first down.
Remember Kellen Winslow
I
for the
remember
Chargers?
him, yeah.
Tell me if this guy doesn't remind you of him.
Well, if he bumps the guy, he knocks the guy down on his can after he caught the ball, he probably is. Kellen was a tough player. Let's take a look. Well, he kind of dove for the ball, let's say that. Winslow would have broke that one.
I'd give him a year.
All right.
He's a senior.
6'4", 195. I'm
Good
sure
size.
a few college teams will be looking at him with that type of size. We'll see what kind of speed he gets if he gets out in the open here.
1st and 10, ball at about the 43-yard line for the Kimball Knights. Their own 43. Offsides as the line moved, this right side of the line. And it looks like we're going to have a penalty coming up on the Knights.
That's a neat little play. Too bad it didn't work. They had the wide receiver come back on a handoff inside and run a little trot play up and through the middle, and it looked like it might have went. Interesting call.
So now it'll be 1st and 15. Let's see what they come up with here in this situation. A little confusion on the Blue Jays side as who's coming in and who's going out. Finally, Jeff Bush goes out. Going up top is Sanders for the Knights, and down here at the bottom of the screen is Kevin Nichols. Split backfield for Brad Martin. Martin to pass, has time.
Not anymore.
And now he'll take it himself. Martin dragged down from behind, and a good effort by number 73, Damon Spencer of the Blue Jays, to get him back down at the original line of scrimmage. Let's take a look at this one here. He's got plenty of time.
He's got time. I think one of his running backs picks up the blitz right here. Excellent play. He has to step up in the pocket because they're starting to collapse on him. He does. He shows some good speed getting out of there. But I'll tell you what, look at that. You can tell it's starting to get a little slippery down there with Damon Spencer making a good strength tackle that time.
The 2nd down and 9 now. And a handoff to the first man through. That is Birchmeyer, and he is stacked up immediately by the Southfield defense. They hit him for a loss of about a yard. It'll be 3rd and 10 coming up.
Jeremiah Walters, watch this. 6'6", 300 pounds on the tackle. You don't get around him too often. Reminds me of Jerry Ball, except Jerry Ball is only 6 foot. So what does that tell you?
It'll be 3rd and 9 now. No gain on it. They did not stack him for a loss, and here come the Knights to throw. Martin downfield, intended into double coverage, and the flag is down, intended for Kevin Nichols, and it looks like it's going to be a flag on Jerome Hawkins. 2 defenders right down there, and he still went for Nichols.
Might have been 3 defenders on him, I don't know, but Hawkins definitely tackled him before the ball got there. And you can take a look at it right here. He's got time, but he's got a man coming at him, so he definitely has to unload the ball quick. Take a look. 84 is bearing down on him. Here's the throw. Boom, he's going down. There's 3 guys on him. Tough pass. But they got the call.
The first time the Knights have been in Blue Jay territory. It's a first down ball at about the 42-yard line. Here's Martin to throw. It's complete to Nichols. Nichols loses his footing, and he goes down. On the stop was McEvans.
Well, he's their big play receiver. When in doubt, Terry Powers says, we're going to throw it to him, and we're going to let him run with the ball because he's 6'5", and he's got a lot of speed. Well, we'll take a look right here. The ball is well thrown, gets it out to him. He's got time to turn up the field right here. Defender slips. Of course, you know why? Because it's slippery, and he slips too.
If it is slippery, it'll be more slippery on the sidelines than down the middle of the field. So that's where you're going to see the players lose their footing. One receiver split. The man in motion is Nichols. And a little counter play inside. And a good drive by the running back, number 32, Wisniewski, for the Knights to even get anything out of that.
Glenn Bloodshaw made a nice tackle. Wouldn't give up here. He's going to grab him, as you're going to see right here, by the shirt. And unfortunately, he throws him forward. Watch 42 right here. He grabs a hold of him, grabs him by the shirt. But watch this. He spins him around. 84 helps. Throws him forward for an extra 2 or 3 yards. That's team defense right there when you have 2 or 3 guys. One high, one low, making a tackle.
And Wisniewski kept going, kept his legs driving. The handoff to number 21, picking up the first down, is Birchmeyer. So the Kimball Knights on the move now. And the first sustained drive, really, of the game that either team has had. The Blue Jays scored on a 2-play drive on their first possession. There on the sideline, number 12, Alfonso Cox, running in the plays. One of the players. Now up top, Kevin Nichols. Down here at the bottom of the screen is Lance Sanders. Sanders in motion. Martin on a 1st and 10 will go to the air. It is batted away. Nichols still has it, and he's coming back.
He's going to lose a lot of yards.
A lot of yards. Nowhere to go.
Oh, man. They saw that one coming all the way, folks. Let me tell you. He kind of gave the play away, actually. He took a step back almost before the ball was snapped. Defensive man saw it and cut in between. Here, take a look right here. You can't really see at the end. See if you get him in the corner. You can't really see it. He takes a step back. The defender walks right in between. Look at this play. Shows really good leaping ability to tip the ball up. They're taught that, by the way, in practice. 84 makes that play, and that's...
Southfield does it to us every game.
Yeah,
they give us a roster, and they don't have the right players out on the field. So we'll try to get those numbers for you.
Well, it's going to be 2nd and long.
2nd and very long.
That's the end of the quarter. We missed that one.
That'll end the first quarter.
Yeah.
And we will start the second quarter of play. Boy, they don't waste any time in starting the second quarter here.
I like that.
Referee's got to get back.
Second and 28.
The referee on the far
long.
side didn't know.
Yep.
Second and 28 now to start the second quarter for the Knights. Martin to pass. He's got time. Steps up now. He's got plenty of room to run. And the Blue Jays just converge on him. Hit hard by number 80, Jerome Hawkins. And the rest of the Blue Jays.
Excellent coverage downfield. He goes back to pass. He's got a lot of pressure. He's got a lot of people in his face, and he can't see down the field. Most of his receivers are 30 yards downfield at this point, so he doesn't have a short guy to dump it off to. He's got to run, and he knows it. He takes it right up between the big guys, a couple 300-pounders, makes a nice run. Now he's got third and about 22.
Martin fakes the handoff, rolls out, and goes downfield complete to number 89, Pro 2. And the tight end gets a good chunk of the yardage back.
Well, still got fourth and long. Here, take a look right here. He throws to the short man. He is open. They're throwing against the wind here, so they got to go to shorter passes. He completes it, but it's going to be fourth down and about 11. Against the wind, they'll probably either punt it or go for it. 11 yards, they can make a pass of that nature. So they're going to call a timeout and talk about it.
Every week, Oakland Press editor Neil Monroe discusses current issues with a variety of guests on Oakland Press Perspective. Fridays at 8:30 right here on United Artists 63. Timeout down on the field with 10:58 left in the second quarter. Only one score in the first quarter, and that was after the second play of the game. Nakia Dexter scored on a 68-yard run. The extra point was good, and the Southfield Blue Jays lead 7-0 over the Knights, and the Knights have had the ball on their second possession for pretty much that entire first quarter, and now going into the second quarter on this drive.
Well, they've put together an impressive drive. The one play that lost a lot of yards, particularly to Lance Sanders back there. If he would have just dropped that ball, they would have been in great position.
Yeah.
They lose 18 yards. They've got to come back to get 6 on one play and then 7 on another. They're still fourth and 11. They got a long way to go. They are going to go for it.
Fourth down and about 13 coming up now. Martin, the
Here's
pitch
the pass.
back, and a pass play going deep, but who's he throwing to?
Throwing to number 83 over there.
Lance Sanders was nowhere around it, but the Blue Jays were back there in the end zone to knock it down. And if anything, they probably try to use this as a good punt.
Well, they don't disguise it real well. And I'll tell you what, if you've got a team that's real hungry and real aggressive back there, they might intercept this pass. And you probably want them to do it, because if they catch it on the 1 yard line, it's as good as any punt you're ever going to do. He should just knock that ball down, let alone try to catch it. Because that's a big difference in yardage. You know, it would have been, even if he caught it in the end zone, it would have been on 20, and they're on, what, the 31?
Yeah, 32-yard line.
32-yard line, yeah, big difference.
First and 10, 32-yard line for the Blue Jays. The quarterback handing off to the fullback, the first man through, and a nice gain for number 22, Rush, the fullback. And a flag down on the play. Looks like it's going to go against the Knights here. Let's see. No, it's going against the Blue Jays, so a big break for the Knights.
Here, take a look right here. Jace Wan makes an excellent tackle. If he doesn't, Rush was gone. Grabs him right by the hips, right here at the end of the play. You're going to take a look at it. Pulls him down. If he didn't, he's got a lot of room in front of him. When you pick your feet up off the ground, it's difficult to run, don't you think, Dave?
What do you got to run with
That's
after that?
right.
10:40 and counting down in the second quarter. There we see Terry Powers, head coach of the Kimball Knights in his third year. And it's first and 15 now for the Blue Jays. Power eye in the wishbone, and the fullback again on the carry is Jeff Rush, and he comes up with a big gain and gains a good chunk of that yardage back. for the Blue Jays. It'll be second down and short yardage now.
I'm impressed with the way he hits the hole. You're going to take a look right here. Rush is going to follow his blockers excellent. They block down. He's got a big hole. But watch the way he hits his hole. You got to tuck that ball away, Jeff, and he's going to hit him hard. He attacks it pretty strong. I like that in a good fullback. He needs to do that. We said we got to have another flag down on the play.
Another flag is down, and that may negate the run.
Michael Henry's putting his hands up. What do we do?
Yeah.
What do we do?
Well, the referees have to discuss this. Here we go. And that may be why he got such a good hole there. Somebody jumped early. Cal Fletcher is out on the field.
He almost loses the ball here. Take another look. Watch here. Number 11 almost strips the ball loose. 21 Birchmeyer almost did that. And then right there, boom. He falls down.
Cal
he had
Fletcher.
2 times he almost dropped the ball on that. As he went through the line, Brad Martin and then Birchmeyer.
Here we see Cal Fletcher. He was out on the field, and now he's going to call a timeout. He was discussing it with the referee, and he may get a flag. No, he will not get a flag.
Well, Cal's a senior coach in this league. I'll tell you what, he's not going to get many flags for being aggressive and doing that.
Don't forget to watch Oakland Forum right here on United Artists 63. They tackle issues directly affecting Oakland County. That's Oakland Forum every Friday at 9 p.m. right here on United Artists 63. There's Cal Fletcher. He's still unhappy with the call. And he wants to talk it over with the referee. He didn't call a timeout to talk to his team. He called a timeout.
Oh, yeah.
He knows what he's doing. He's out there talking to the refs.
That's what these young ladies are talking about.
That's
Same
right.
play, yeah.
She's definitely
not his phone number or anything like that.
Illegal use of the hands.
Yeah, there you go.
That's what it is.
Look at the crowd. We got a nice crowd here for a nice cool Friday evening. It's supposed to go down to about 49 tonight. We just had a front pass through, so that field could get a little slippery as we see it's happening already.
Yeah. Weather not playing a big part so far in our season, but it's gonna happen soon. And tonight is the first indication of the weather changing as we head into fall. And the first time we're gonna head into the 40s, really. Kimball band trying to keep the fans in this game. Now, first down and 20 for the Blue Jays. Henry takes it himself, and another flag. Another flag down. He is gone. Let's see which way this penalty will go, though. And Michael Henry brings it all the way inside the 30-yard line, but a flag is down.
9 out of 10 times, that's a hole or a clip. He's coming back, folks. I got to believe it.
A player down. Looks like number 25. That is Jay Swan.
Legal procedure on Southfield. Well, what did they do that time?
You thought Cal Fletcher was mad the first time. He's going to be mad this time.
What did they do? I don't know, but I'll tell you what, I saw nothing. And this is what we were talking about earlier. Watch Michael Henry run. One of the fastest quarterbacks in this league, and he shows that he can also turn it on when he needs to because he runs away from 3 people here. He's got the angle here. Brad Martin's got the angle and brings him down.
Well, that's the thing about Southfield. They can score at any time. They have very good speed in the skill positions, and the quarterback is one of them.
Yeah, Jay Swan, who's down, he's 5'9", 170 pounds. And he tackled Michael Henry. He's about the same, actually. There's not really any big difference. I think he just kind of fell on his stomach and knocked the wind out of him.
The referees were down on the other end of the field ready to start play, and one of them singled, wait a second, we've got a player on the field here.
Well, we've got first down and 25 now.
So the Blue Jays keep coming up with great plays, but they come up with penalties as well. They can't get the ball going anywhere. They're going in the wrong direction. They're going back.
I've looked at that play twice. I still don't see anything they did wrong.
Yeah.
But, of course, I'm not the referee. I'm not down on the field.
Wearing a striped shirt. Are you wearing
well, you know.
No, you don't have a striped shirt.
No striped shirts.
Here
Paisley
is
tie, though.
Jay Swan getting up. He looks like he'll be all right.
He's got the wind knocked out of him.
A lot of players tumbling down there after Michael Henry. And there's the applause for Jay Swan. Coming up is still a first down. This is the 3rd time we've run a first down for the Southfield Blue Jays. This time it's 1st and 25.
There's our crowd. They're excited. They haven't scored a point yet, but I'll tell you what, the defense is pushing them back. Or should I say, the offense is pushing themselves back.
Exactly. First and 25 as the referee signals to start the clock with 9:54 left here in the first half.
This is a good time for a draw or a screen to let that oncoming defense go by you and potentially get a good gainer.
Well, I'll tell you what, the Kimball Knights have seen some pretty good plays.
Yeah, they have.
Now, I don't know what the Blue Jays can come up with to gain all that yardage back. Here's Henry again, hands it off to the first man through, and the Knights are ready this time. They stack it up.
We had 10 people in on that tackle. Jim Ronan's going to get the big one right there. He'll get the tackle in the books, but you can credit that one to a team tackle.
Rush on the carry. Let's take a look.
Here's Rush. He goes in. He gets hit by Ronan, and then number 54 looks like he's in it too. There's Ronan, and watch the rest of the team come. Boom, 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 like pinballs. They all fall down.
Ronan, one of the four senior captains on this team.
That's a massive humanity. He had 1,000 pounds on him.
Here we go, 2nd and 21 for the Blue Jays. Knights just want to contain, but here he goes. Michael Henry.
He's gone. He's
this
gone.
time, no one's going to catch him. Let's take a look. Off to the races. Michael Henry. And this is a 68-yard touchdown run.
Michael Henry, the elusive back that he is, showed how he can run down that field. I'll tell you what, here's the key to this play. Watch his foot go back right here. He's going to fake the defense out right there. See that? He gets a step on it. As he fakes the ball through the line, he takes the ball on a keeper, and he had intended to do that the whole way.
And nobody touches him.
No, that's the exact same play he ran on earlier. So they knew it was there. They wanted to give it a play before he did it, and he just took off to the races. Look at him go.
That's what I had mentioned earlier. If you're the Knights, you've seen two good plays that the Blue Jays are going to call.
That's the exact same play that they did earlier before their call for legal procedure.
The extra point attempt is no good by McEvans. The left-footed kicker couldn't get this one. And it'll be 13-0 as the Blue Jays lead here in the second quarter with 8:34 left. Don't forget to tune in next week. And we've got another great matchup for you. It'll be the Rochester Falcons at the Troy Athens Redhawks. It's Saturday and Monday night at 7 p.m. right here on United Artists 63. We talk about the Blue Jays with the skill player positions, and there it was again. Here we see the defensive coach talking to number 38, and that is Siegel, Eric Siegel, and just trying to get his team back into it. Two big, quick scores, 68-yard runs for both players, Dexter and Henry.
It's amazing that they're both the same distance. I can't believe that.
It was at the 32-yard line.
It's a shame, too, because Kimball's been really playing a good defensive game, and they've really contained him well. They've given up a couple plays that Southfield hurt themselves on, but the two big plays have really broken their backs.
The kickoff, and this one is deep. This one is at the 5 or 6 yard line, and here come the Knights. Good coverage down there. Ball at about the 22-yard line. On the return was Wisniewski.
So what, I was impressed with that kick. It got good hang time, good spin. Got down to the 5 and got him down for some pretty tough field position here. They got a long way to go against the wind to try to put a score on the board here with 8 minutes and 25 seconds left here in the first half.
Well, the Kimball offense was out there for a long time in that first quarter and part of the second. And now we'll get to see if they can put together a sustained drive again. Only one play really hurt them, and we mentioned that, was that little screen that they had out there that they lost about 10 yards on. There's a straight dive for Wisniewski, and the ball is loose. Correction, it was the fullback, Mike Johnson again.
Damon Green came up with the ball, but I think that was after the fact. Ground cannot cause a fumble, they say.
Second down and 7 now for the Knights. Split backs, back to pass. Martin intended out there and complete to Kevin Nichols, and Nichols is shy of the first down. It'll be 3rd and short yardage coming up now for the Knights.
It's a nice play out of a tight formation. You're going to see right here, you really can't tell, but they've got 3 backs tight. They got all the backs in real tight to protect the quarterback. They just throw a little down and cross pattern is what they actually do, which is the simplest pattern you could throw, and they complete it for about a 7-yard gain, 6-yard gain. 3rd and looks like a long 2.
3rd and short now for the Knights. To pass on a 3rd down, complete. And look at this. Splitting the defenders, Lance Sanders with a big reception over the 50-yard line and into Southfield territory.
Just a quick slant here. He goes back to pass. He's got time on a quick play. 3 steps back, 1, 2, 3. Sets up in a quick slant pattern to Sanders. Makes a nice catch and almost splits him. He's got to put that ball away, though. Nice game for a first down. They're on the roll here. They need to put some points on the board.
Precision pass play by the Knights gets them into Blue Jay territory. Again, a quick pattern and almost intercepted out there by number 32, Dexter. Dexter already had a big touchdown run in the first quarter. Now, defensively, trying to come up with the interception.
They're trying to run the quick plays. They're going against the wind. Keep that in mind. Taking a 3-step drop and just trying to unload it. But he's got to look where he's throwing the ball. That time, I'll tell you what, Terry Powers says, please don't do that. Look where you're throwing the ball first.
They're running the quick slant ins and the quick down and out patterns, and that is what has been successful for Martin. 2nd down and long. First man through, and a big break as number 23, Hartman, Darryl Hartman, number 23, spins his way into the defensive backfield of the Blue Jays.
Key to this play is look how quickly he hits the hole. The offensive line can sustain a block for a 1-second count. You're gonna see the tackle pull out here. The reason he does that, he's running against a 5-man line. He hits that tackle hole quickly. He bounces and makes a nice spin there, gets by the big guy, and he's gone to the races. Nice tackle there by number 1.
So here come the Kimball Knights. Number 1, of course, the quarterback, Michael Henry. Martin to pass, has his man open down the sideline. Sanders hit forward inside the 20 to about the 17-yard line. Lance Sanders, I gotta like this guy.
Yeah.
His size is 6'4", 195, a senior, and like I said, he reminds you of Kellen Winslow.
Here he goes, the 3 or 4 step drop back here. He fakes it, waits for Sanders to get open. Now here's a nice tight play. Sanders makes a nice move right here. Of course, it's slippery. Gets by 2, 3, 4 players, and finally Omari, he pronounces Lewiston, makes the tackle.
A timeout called by the Blue Jays as the Kimball Knights picking up some momentum now and heading downfield with a first down. Again, Jeff Miller hosts Transition every week, a show designed to give perspective to African-American issues. And again, past shows have had interviews with Louis Farrakhan, John Conyers, and Coleman Young. Watch Transition every Saturday at 10 p.m.
I'm in bed by that time, but I'll tape it.
Okay. And just a reminder, the score 13-0. Here's Terry Powers in his 3rd year here. 7-11 record overall in that 3-year period. Coming in here. On the other side, Cal Fletcher 50-33, so Cal's been around a long time. Don't forget, next week, it'll be the Falcons taking on the Red Hawks at Troy Athens. A good matchup there. Saturday and Monday at 7 p.m. right here on United Artists 63. Blue Jays come back out of their huddle, their timeout. 5:44 left in the first half, and the Kimball Knights on the move. I formation in the backfield. A handoff to the first man through, and that is Hartman. Hartman, who had the big carry to get the Kimball Knights down there. Deep into Blue Jay territory. It'll be 2nd down and about 6 coming up.
The size of the Kimball offensive line has really impressed me. Not only their size, but the way they can sustain their blocks. They're holding on to the blocks for a 2-3 second count, which is pretty outstanding, I'll tell you. When a back has that kind of time, he can sit back behind that big offensive line and pick a hole as he goes through the line. They got some big boys there.
I formation again. And a timeout called this time by the Knights with 5:06 left in the second quarter. Blue Jays lead 13-0, and the first big threat here that the Kimball Knights have had. They had a pretty good drive going earlier that went into that started in the first quarter, went into the second quarter, and fizzle out when they had a screen play that didn't work on him, lost about 15 yards on it. This time, Terry Powers wants to make sure that he gets at least 6 out of this. Don't forget to tune in right here on United Artists 63 for the Oakland Press Perspective, as Oakland Press editor Neil Monroe discusses current issues with a variety of guests right here on the Oakland Press Perspective, Fridays at 8:30 on United Artists 63. Just one of the many fans here at Kimball High School enjoying the fall-like weather that we're having.
One of the prettier fans, we'll say.
So that's because they're not shooting up here in the press boxes. So that's why.
I'm impressed with this drive. They've really mixed it up well. They've had a couple of really nice pass plays. Just quick hitters, which will not get them in too much trouble. You're not going to be sacked when you're going to go back 3 steps and throw the ball.
I formation. Fake the draw, and rolling out is Martin. He's pressured. And another big loss for the Kimball Knights on a key play in the drive. It was 2nd and about 6, and they lose about, I'd say another 15 yards. So it'll be 3rd down and long here. Let's take a look at what happened.
I just got done saying they're taking 3 steps and throwing. That time he rolled out, and Joshua Franklin made an excellent tackle right here. Take a look right here. He grabs him by the shirt, throws him down. He's a little bit bigger, I think, than Brad Martin. Probably by about 50, 60 pounds.
There's Delshawn Franklin, and a big loss. It'll be 3rd and about 22 coming up now. And a definite passing down into the end zone. A beautiful pass, and almost intercepted by Michael Henry.
Oh, man, did he had that ball in his hands. As he was coming down, he dropped the ball.
Intended for Lance Sanders. Boy, if you could throw a pass, that's the kind you'd want to throw. It was a beautiful pass, but right there, good defense by Michael Henry.
Well, Sanders was never open. Let's first point that out. He had to try to run under this one. He kind of laid it up for him, but the athleticism of Michael Henry and his jumping ability right there took it away from the 6'4" receiver. That shows me a lot.
4th down, and again, 22. They're going to go for this deep in Blue Jay territory. Martin going down the sidelines. He's got it. Complete for a 1st down inside. No, they're saying he was out of bounds. Nichols caught it, but they say he was out of bounds.
I think you got a little help from the Southfield team here. Here's a good play. When you've got a 6'4", 6'5" receiver, Nichols 6'5", throw the ball up. Let him jump for the ball, and that's what they did. Watch this. Southfield guys got a beat on the ball. Just missed it, too. 1 foot down. You can't tell from that angle, but the refs can. They were over there. They made the call. Out of bounds, and stalls another good drive for Kimball.
Great concentration down there by Kevin Nichols to even catch that ball with the defender coming across. 1st and 10 now for the Blue Jays. 4:09 left, and breaking through into the backfield. The Blue Jays again on another big breaker. This is number 22, Jeff Rush, the fullback.
Jay Swan again on the tackle. He was hurt earlier, came back to make the tackle. A quick hitter. They're sustaining their blocks. The linebackers went by him. They've got to contain that area. And there's Sean making the tackle again. He's making a tackle on his back like he did with Henry earlier in the game.
Jay Swan actually was hurt and came off the field slowly back in there to make the tackle and the stop. Ball at the 49-yard line of the Knights. Knights show blitz, and flags are down. The handoff went to Dexter. Jeff Rush on the big run, and the illegal procedure call against the Blue Jays. This will knock them back 5 yards. It'll be 1st and 15 now. But they're familiar with this.
Franklin jumps a little bit. You take a look right here. There he goes. Just a half a second, quarter of a second quicker than everybody else. Maybe that's how they open up those big holes. First time they were caught.
1st and 15 now. 3:20 and winding down here in the first half. The Southfield Blue Jays and the Kimball Knights. Blue Jays lead 13-0. Fumble! He's got nowhere to go. Oh! There was no one around him. Had they picked it up, they would have been gone. But falling on it was Nowakowski. The Kimball Knights had nothing but green in front of them had they picked that one up. But a good, smart decision on just falling. Make sure you get that ball back.
Oh, you've got to. And that ball just kind of popped out as he went to hand the ball off. I don't think he knew where he wanted to give the ball. Here comes the fullback. Right here is either a fake or he's going to take the ball down the line. Here's the fake. There's the pitch right there. Where was he pitching the ball? We don't know.
This pass is incomplete as Martin was throwing downfield for
Take another look right here. I think he wanted to get the ball off. Here's a good, smart move right here. Take the ball down. His man was back there, but he slipped and fell already by him. Of course, when you have Michael Henry's talent, your backs decide that he's going to take the ball off and forget that they've got responsibility.
That's right. They probably thought that Henry was going to take it himself.
That's right.
And then things closed up quickly on him. 2nd down and 10 now for the Knights. Martin to pass. Under pressure, and now picks up a couple of blocks. And he's going to break it outside for a gain of about 2 or 3 yards. He ran a long way to pick up those 2 or 3 yards. Finally got some blocks and managed to pick something out of it.
Michael Terry sticks with him. He's the linebacker out there, but watch this run. One of the better runs you're going to see by a quarterback. He's flushed out of the pocket. He's got to move. He's got some good pressure on him. Gets around his own guys. They're coming back, peeling back, looking for a block. Look at this. What a nice run. I'll tell you, we're talking about Michael Henry. Brad Martin makes an excellent run right there, too.
Yeah, that's 6'2", 180. The senior, a lot more size, shows us some running ability himself. 3rd and 7, and now he's going to have to take it again. Cuts it outside, and trying to pick up that 1st down. He's going to be close.
Broken play that time. 80 Jerome Hawkins makes the tackle, but he waits for a block here really nice. You're going to see Brad Martin right here. It's a broken play. There it is. Running back went on the wrong side, went to hand it off. Watch him wait for his block right here. 89 is going to make the block for him. And Jerome Hawkins makes a nice tackle, but I'll tell you what, he really showed me a lot there, getting down within, whoa, maybe 2 feet of a 1st down.
Yeah, less than that. It's 4th and inches now.
At least a foot.
Yeah, about a foot. Let's say that. Split backs, taking it himself is Martin for the 1st down. A big 1st down with 1:22 left here in the 1st half, and the Kimball Knights want to get on the board before halftime.
We'll give a little credit here to number 78, Joshua King, 6'2", 285. There he is right there. 78, that's all he does. I'm going over the big guy. He pushes him back for the 1st down.
1:12 left here in the 1st half. Into the end zone, throwing, and coming down with it. Interception for the Blue Jays. Intended, of course, for Kevin Nichols. And the Blue Jays come up with a big interception.
That's a shame. That is really a shame, too. 1 minute left here, 1:04 seconds left in the half. And I'll tell you what, they had 2 men on them.
And the man making the interception, it looks like, is down on the field, probably got the wind knocked out of him. Let's take a look.
This is the same play we tried twice before. They have 2 men on him, good coverage. They kind of run into each other is what they do. And as he comes down, take a look at his foot, buried underneath him. That's where he got hurt. So he twisted his ankle.
That's what they're working on. They are working on the leg.
No, Kevin Nichols' responsibility in that particular situation, when you've got 2 men in front of him, basically is just to knock that ball loose. And he really didn't try. He kind of was blocked from him.
Yeah.
But you could take a look right here. He's got a responsibility. He knows he can't make the catch. He's got to knock that ball loose somehow. And see how he's in the middle? He doesn't go after the ball. He should have. If he did, it probably could have prevented the interception. But right there, look at him turn his ankle. Oh, man. That one hurts.
It's going to hurt for a while.
Yeah.
And they are not taking any chances on it. As we see Cal Fletcher on the sideline. And he's still working the referee. Terry Powers on the other side trying to figure out how he can get into the end zone. Well, he's had some pretty good drives and probably had better sustained drives than the Blue Jays have had tonight. And the Blue Jays have got 13 points to show for it.
They've got a big play offense. You know, obviously go either way. They had the fumble earlier we saw with the wishbone attack. That can't happen. But the Kimball Knights didn't take advantage of it. And that's the situation. You've got to take advantage of the turnovers. You've got to make sure that you can score like that.
And with the score 13-0 with this break in the action, we'll be right back right after these messages to finish off the first half.
Presenting Digital Music Express, 30 channels of CD quality music for your stereo. No interruptions, no talk, ever. Now feel the beat with DMX and our 5 great urban channels: dance, soul, rap, blues, and reggae. If you like music, you're gonna love DMX. Digital Music Express. Just call us today.
And back to the action here at Kimball High School, where the Blue Jays lead 13-0. 1st and 10 after the interception, and flags fly before the snap here. Someone lining up in the neutral zone. We'll see what happens. Illegal procedure on the Blue Jays.
This must have been a similar call that called back the one long run by Michael Henry. Somebody must be lining up. You need to have 7 men on the line. One way, shape, or form, whether it be a slot back on the line, your offensive linemen, your receivers, whatnot. You've got to have that many people. If you don't, if they line 1 yard back, they can get in trouble.
And oftentimes it's the receiver. There's a little bit of movement in the backfield. And the flags do fly on that. Quick pass intended out there for number 34, Michael Terry, and that was incomplete, and a flag flies again. It may knock the Blue Jays back even more if they want to give them a 1st and long.
They should have threw that flag right away if they're going to throw that flag at all.
There was movement right away in the backfield.
Well, there's no sense in waiting on that. They should just threw the flag. I disagree with the way that they call that.
I was waiting for the flag right away, too, and it did not come. It came after the play.
Well, here's the situation here, Dave.
So now it's 2nd and 15.
We got 2nd and long. They've got the ball deep in. We've got a minute left and 2 timeouts left for Kimball. So something could happen here if they stop him on this play.
Well, Blue Jays, big play offense. Take a look, see what happens. First man through on the handoff, and flags fly again. I think we've seen more flags tonight than all of our first 2 games combined.
I got to believe that. That typically is on the defense. We'll see what happens. Another illegal procedure on Southfield.
On Southfield.
What is going on here, folks?
Maybe that's why the refs didn't want to get Mike tonight.
Nobody's moving. They're just lining up wrong somehow. I don't understand it. Siegel, the 38 here, makes the tackle, along with a host, let's say, of other Kimball Knights. I always liked when they said that, a host of the other ones.
And Cal Fletcher is not very happy with his hosts right now. The referees are calling penalty after penalty on them, and they had that decline. Clock winding down with 40 seconds left here in the first half, and the Blue Jays have shut out the Kimball Knights so far. Michael Henry, the quarterback, drops back and hands it off on a draw, and it's a big gainer again for the Blue Jays with 25 seconds, and that will stop the clock to move the chains up. And let's see if Cal calls a timeout. Does he have any left? That's the question.
I don't think he does. If he does, he's only got 1. I know he's called 2 that I can remember. Wisniewski on the tackle that time, but a big opener there.
They're going to get another penalty call here if they don't snap this one quick.
18 seconds left.
Henry gets the snap and throws it out there. Intended for Michael Terry, but Terry was nowhere near the ball. But they do stop the clock, and that's what they wanted to get out of it. 12 seconds left.
Here's a shot again of Dexter going up the middle. You can see how he breaks this one here, shows his speed. He shoots the ball right up, and watch the tackle here by Wisniewski. He makes a nice tackle right in there. Boom, knocks him right off his feet.
And another big gain for Dexter. Dexter looking at over 100 yards probably here in this first half. In motion is Dexter. Henry back to pass, throwing deep, and this one's intercepted. With 4 seconds left, that's intercepted by Jay Swan.
Swan's come back from earlier being knocked down, but it looks like we had another penalty here. It looks like an unsportsmanlike conduct. We'll see what the call is. Personal foul
on the Blue
Southfield.
Jays, and that's going to move the ball up even more, and the Kimball Knights call a timeout.
I believe that was on David Caldwell. That'll give him a 15-yard penalty.
with the pause in the action and the timeout. We'll be right back right after these messages. 4 seconds left.
This is Perspectives, made available by your local cable company.
Time Magazine's most recent Man of the Year is Ted Turner, an appropriate choice for a year which saw the fall of Gorbachev, the ascent of Boris Yeltsin, and the terrorism of Saddam Hussein. The reason we know so much about these international heavyweights is because of Ted Turner and his dream which became the cable news network, CNN. The 24-hour-a-day all-news network struggled for years, but is now the network monitored daily by world leaders, and the network Americans turn to when a crisis erupts. We congratulate Ted Turner and everyone at CNN for their stunning success. And we congratulate cable customers whose monthly support makes it all possible. For Perspectives, I'm Leela Kokoris.
Opinions expressed on Perspectives are those of Telecommunications Incorporated and not necessarily those of this channel. Please send your comments to this address.
The Kimball Knights have it on this interception by Jay Swan, and then there was an illegal hit after he intercepted it, so they're in pretty good field position, Bob.
I'll tell you what, Michael Henry shows how elusive he is. He does get the ball off, but watch here. Swan makes a shot. He's down. They cannot fall on him. Once he's down in high school, you're down. You cannot get back up. Your knees are down. That's what they call.
Ball at the 41-yard line. Time for one play. Two receivers, and they're very tall receivers at 6'4", and one of them is in motion. Sanders in motion. He's going to be blocking, but they're going to go downfield to the wide open Swan, and he overthrew him. Down there defending was Henry, and we've got a flag down again, so the quarter will not end on this penalty here.
Here's the key. On that play, the receiver has got to be behind the quarterback. That's if he's in front of him, you can't throw a double pass.
That may have been the call. Let's take a look.
They're saying
they're waving it off. They are waving off the flag, no flag, and that will end the first half of play.
Let's take a look, see where the receiver is, see if we can get a line on it. He takes 3 steps back. The receiver is in front of him. That was a good play on calling a penalty. That was a penalty. He said, what the heck, it's the last play, we'll let it go. But he could have called it. The receiver was open. Let's take a look down the field here. See how open he is? But you got to go for the touchdown. Keep that in mind. Just overthrows him. Trying for one of those Desmond Howard type catches. Just doesn't work.
Unless you're Desmond Howard.
That's right.
And that will end the first half of play here at Kimball High School. The score 13-0 on 2 big runs by the Southfield Blue Jays, both of 68 yards. One in the first quarter, one in the second. Nakia Dexter with a big one in the first, picking it up, and the extra point was good. And then Michael Henry picking up another one in the second quarter for 68 yards. The extra point no good, and that is where we stand here at halftime. We'll be back with halftime stats for you right after these messages. Stay with us.
Announcing Digital Music Express. 30 channels of CD quality music. The music you want to hear when you want to hear it. DMX will come out your TV cable through our receiver and right into your stereo. And you'll get all 30 channels for less than the cost of 1 CD per month. DMX is coming. Just call us today.
Call United Artists Cable to order DMX Music Express.
Halftime here at Kimball High School. Dave Zorin along with Bob Griglak. And the score 13-0. The Southfield Blue Jays over the Kimball Knights, and the telling tale in the stats, pretty much all rushing.
Kind of jumps up at you, you know?
Yeah, 226 total yards for the Southfield Blue Jays, all rushing, of course. Turnovers, first downs, and really something you don't see is penalties. Time of possession is lopsided. You wouldn't figure that by the total number of yards. 36 passing for Kimball, 42 rushing for a total of 78. Only 1 turnover, 4 first downs, and that is why they have the edge in time of possession. Picking up 4 first downs, they had 2 pretty good drives going, whereas the Southfield Blue Jays had really short drives, and that is where they got a good chunk of that yardage. 2 drives, really 2 scoring drives of 68-yard runs by Nakia Dexter and Michael Henry.
Kimball was effective throwing the ball on a short drop back pass and a quick slant and a quick down and cross play. So if they go back to that without getting themselves into too much trouble going backwards, and that's what hurt them. On both drives, they went backwards on one play and threw them right out of their rhythm. Those girls are in rhythm. It doesn't matter there.
No, we taped those girls earlier when you walked by. that's what we did.
Okay. Here's our score, 13-0. The Blue Jays in the lead here at halftime, getting ready to start on a beautiful Friday evening. Wind is kind of dying down a little bit, so it shouldn't affect it that much here in the second half. And Kimball, in order to get back in the game, might have to throw the ball a little more.
And the cheerleaders enjoying halftime. They get a chance to greet the fans. There's that wind that's picking up, and really it's been blowing all game long.
Yeah, it's a little more steady right now as opposed to being gusty as it was earlier. So it won't affect it that much, I don't think. It's not too bad. And keep in mind the two big plays by the Southfield Blue Jays that made the difference here in the game. 2 68-yard runs. So we'll call them a pair of bookends. Both of them were touchdowns, and that put them ahead.
And don't forget, next week we've got another exciting contest for you. And that'll be the Rochester Falcons traveling to Troy, Athens, where they'll take on the Red Hawks Saturday and Monday at 7 p.m. right here on United Artists 63. The kickoff for the Blue Jays. Deep to receive. There's number 44, Derek Coltis.
Ooh.
You can tell by Bob's reaction it was a good hit. Coltis is down at about the 20-yard line, taking about the 22-yard line. That's where the Knights will start. And let's take a look at that good hit, Bob.
I think it was Lincoln Garrett. Take a look right here at 38. I think he's the one who makes this hit. Watch his head jolt back here. Right about there. Boom, right in the chops. Nice hit. It was 38. Lincoln Garrett. Let's give him credit for that nice poke.
1st and 10 now for the Kimball Knights. They have had two pretty good sustained drives. It's just they stalled, and one ended up in an interception. First play of the drive is a handoff straight up the middle. And on the carry, it was number 47, Mike Johnson.
Looking at an injury here on the sideline for Kimball. That's number 44, Derek Coltis.
And he's the one who got the hit. He's the one who returned the kickoff. It'll be second down, about 7 now. Coltis being worked on.
They need to open it up here a little bit. They're down deep in the territory. They're down at about the 24-yard line, but they need to open this up here. They're playing a real tight formation. Let's see what they do.
Hartman and Wisniewski in the backfield. In motion is Nichols. Martin looking for Nichols, but he's going to be hit for a loss. And the Blue Jays will do that. The Kimball Knights have had what looked like a pretty good drive going a few times, and the Blue Jays have hit him for a loss.
Well, they're trying to open it up here. They tried a little quick hitch. Here comes Chadwick Hopkins with the sack, number 70. Throws him down, and I'll tell you what, they're trying to open it up. Unfortunately, that quick hitch wasn't open. He looked downfield for Nichols, and Nichols was not open. It was well covered.
3rd down and long now for the Kimball Knights. 3rd down and 15. Here as we start the 3rd quarter. Back to pass, and he's sacked for a leather loss, and this will get him inside the 10-yard line. And Martin is just taking a beating back there as the Blue Jays defense zeroes in. And that's one thing that Cal Fletcher was really pleased about coming into this game is the play of his defense.
Safety blitz right here. Watch Rush, Jeffrey Rush, come right up the middle untouched and makes the sack. A little blurry there, but take my word for it. There he goes, Jeffrey Rush. Right up the middle, nobody touched him.
And a punting down now for the Knights. Here they come, a low line drive kick taken at the 42-yard line and hit immediately. Right there on the coverage was Alfala, Lou Alfala with the carry, or rather the hit on number 33, Terrence McEvans, who was trying to return that one.
I'll tell you what, I don't know if he touched the ball when it went over his head, but if he did, that is a live ball. Let's take another look. First of all, this punt is almost blocked. It was really close. He just barely got it off. Now, let's see if we can see the bounce. Did he touch it? He put his hand up. If he did, that's a live ball.
It's a good thing he got it back if he did touch it.
Excellent field position here now for Southfield, starting their first drive. 46-yard line of Kimball already in their territory.
And a timeout down on the field. The ball at about the 46, and a first down there for the Blue Jays.
Now watch his hand. Let's see if he does touch this ball. Watch his hand go up. His right hand right here. It's going to go up. Yes, he does. He does touch that ball. It did touch the top of it. Excellent camera work right there. Is that a Mark Gomez special down there?
No, that was an angle from up here.
Angle from up here.
And we are...
Kenny Taylor maybe, huh?
Yeah, we're honored to have Ken Taylor back on these games here for this game. Don't forget to tune into Transition right here on United Artists 63 as host Jeff Miller takes you into perspectives, into issues that are dealing with African-American issues, I should say. The past shows have had interviews with Louis Farrakhan, John Conyers, and Coleman Young. Right here, it's 13-0 in favor of Southfield over Kimball here at Kimball High School. And good field position to start this drive for the Blue Jays.
The Knights need a big play. Let's see what happens. Here comes the defense. They're stacking.
1st and 10. Henry will get to the fullback, and they stack him up for no gain or maybe a yard on this.
What they're doing is they're bringing all the linebackers up on the line of scrimmage and forcing them to go outside. Anything close, anything that quick hitter up front with the fullback is going to be stopped. They're filling all the gaps. It's a good defensive call because on first down, Southfield has at least 4 times tried the fullback up the middle.
No gain, 2nd and 10 now for the Blue Jays. Wishbone formation, 1 receiver up top for Michael Henry. Henry makes the first man through, passes it to the back, coming out of the backfield on the screen, and a big gain as, well, he goes out of bounds, but he may have the first down. Referee signaling out of bounds near the first down marker, and let's see if they've got it. They do.
That is the first pass completion by Michael Henry today, and he led him perfectly, and that was the key to the play, that he got the ball in stride and made a nice catch. Let's take a look here, and it's a nice throw. It takes 1 step, 2 steps back. Here's a good fake, excellent fake, faked our camera work out, but he cut the ball in stride and made a nice play, carrying the ball a little loosely there, and you'll see he'll drop the ball right at the end here.
Caldwell on the first pass attempt by Henry that's complete. And here come the Blue Jays now on a 1st and 10 to the tailback. And a good gain this time, squirming for as much as he can. And having trouble getting up is, again, number 32, Nakia Dexter.
Linebacker here makes a nice tackle, but here, watch the offensive line push people back. Tailback runs right through him. Nikita Henry, watch, goes right back through him. And the fullback, linebacker makes the tackle.
Nakia Dexter.
Nakia Dexter, I'm sorry, right. Brian McLaughlin was the tackler.
2nd down, and about 5 coming up now. Blue Jays on the move.
Offside.
And flags fly. You can hear the Kimball sideline yelling offsides.
The Otis Payne was about 4 yards down the line of scrimmage. Number 75 there. Maybe
so
a couple more people.
Both teams suffering key penalties or some key play that knocks them back on every drive.
There's been more penalty flags here than the first 2 games together that we did this year.
And part of last year, if you can remember that far back.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's take a look.
I think we had a couple people outside. Watch the right guard here and the right tackle. Both of them go off. There they go. Both of them. Boom.
So 2nd down and 10 now for the Blue Jays. Pitch goes back to Dexter, fumble, and he'll get it back.
He took his eyes off that ball for a split second and was able to run up his shoulder. He's able to get the ball back.
Dexter gets it back, and this is the first time the Kimball Knights have really knocked the Blue Jays back.
I think it's a good pitch. Let's take a look. It's a good pitch. He has the ball. He's carrying it loosely, and he's hit by number 89, Chuff Croto.
They weren't looking for that.
No.
He didn't expect to getting hit from that side.
Watch the quarterback.
I don't think Jeff knew he was hitting him either. Just kind of was there.
Watch the quarterback.
Anthony Austin seemed like he pushed him into him.
Hand up! Hand
The pitch is loose again, and it looks like the Kimball Knights have it. The Knights get it back at about the 49-yard line.
Come on, no!
The Southfield Blue Jays on the move, but the Knights kept pushing them back. and lost yardage, and eventually the pitch again. This is the second fumble on a pitch tonight for
It's
the
a good
Blue Jays.
pitch. It's right in his hands. I'll tell you what, that was an excellent pitch. He's still got a chance to get the ball back. Right there. Look at that. Unbelievable. He had a chance to get the ball back. Brad Martin, the quarterback, forced him to look at him. When he did, it allowed Kimball the chance to get the ball back.
First and 10, ball on the 48. And the second man through, stacked up, maybe a 2-yard gain, but we have a signal of another fumble. Ball getting slippery out there, Bob.
Oh boy. Well, we had mentioned it's going to get chilly tonight. I don't know if it's getting that slippery, but I'll tell you.
So time of possession on that drive, not much. Here is the Roadshow video program. It brings you the best in pop music videos and takes you to a new and exciting location throughout southeastern Michigan every month. Watch Brad and Pat on the Roadshow video program.
You know, the play before that last fumble, Nikita Dexter, he had a ball popped right up in back to his breadbasket. He dropped the ball. Unbelievable.
First and 10 now, ball at the 49-yard line of the Blue Jays. Another pass play deflected and almost intercepted. A good defensive play down there by number 38, Weisiegel. Eric with a deflected pass. He knocked it down, and a good play because he almost got a chance to catch it.
Linebackers are told when a guy walks in front of you, either put your hands up in front of him or you knock the guy down. Ball was already in the air, showed some good athleticism there, jumping high in the air with his left hand, knocking the ball up.
It's Eric Weisiegel again. He almost, he did a good play in tipping it up in the air and trying to get that ball back.
They practiced that on defense, as you well know, the old tip drills.
Second down and 10 now. Wishbone formation, and again showing blitz. Here come Knights. Henry himself takes it, and he is hit and pitches back. It's hard to see who has it.
Well, they're so quick down there, I'll tell you what. And Michael Henry, although there's been a couple fumbles on his pitch outs, he has not lost any of his guts. He's still pitching the ball back in the crowd. We'll take a look here. He's
I'm following the flow of the defense, and the defensive players are taking Henry down.
Watch how quick he does this. He makes a spin here, and watch this. Takes the ball up. Watch the pitch here. Right there. That's a forward lateral.
No wonder we couldn't see it.
Oh, man. That ball is forward lateral.
No wonder we couldn't see it. So a forward lateral. That'll bring it back now. It looked like Henry had the ball. I didn't even see the pitch.
Yeah, neither did I.
You can see that he pitched it forward. There's the penalty. And that knocks the Blue Jays back. Again, a big play, knocking them back. And don't forget to tune in next week. It'll be the Falcons of Rochester taking on the Red Hawks of Troy Athens. Our first look at these two teams this season. It'll be Saturday and Monday at 7 p.m. Right now, the Kimball fans looking on and hoping the defense can make another big play here. Second down and 13. We're actually about 15. Pass complete. Complete to Dexter. Nakia Dexter has not only done it on the ground, but he kind of reaches back to get this pass. He was well behind him. He was falling and sliding backward and still managed to get this.
I do not know how Michael Henry got this ball off. Take a look at the pressure he's got on him. He lets the ball go. He just had to guess where his receiver was. Oh, man, did he got that ball off in a nick of time, and Dexter came back and made a beautiful catch. Still not good enough for first down, third and about 5.
They're down in maybe 4, Bob. They're short of yardage. Hand up to the first man through, and that's Dexter as he breaks through for a first down and more. Gain of about 10 yards on that one.
Just a quick hitter. Take a look at the offensive line here. You see them. They're blocking down, opening up the hole, gives the ball right to the fullback, who takes the ball up for about a nice 8-yard gain.
Correction, that was Jeff Rush on the carry.
Well, 32-22 is tough to see that. And run the ball so similar, you know, it's very difficult to call that.
Thank you, Bob.
You're welcome.
and the lighting here, not as bright as the new Troy High. This time it is Nakia Dexter as he angles out of bounds. And he finally goes out of bounds. Gain of about 7 or 8 yards. And the Blue Jays on the move again.
The Kimball Knights need a big defensive play right here. Dexter this time takes the ball outside. You see his speed. Now here's the pitch. He's not afraid to pitch it to him. He dropped the last one. This time it's all speed. He gets around the corner. Good blocking by his offensive line. Allowed him to turn the corner. He gets a 6-yard gain for, now we got 2nd down and 4. Big play here for the Knights. They need to make a stop.
And the Knights show that they're coming up quickly. They do, and again, the Blue Jays blow right by them. Bob, they come up and try to stop the gap there, and the Blue Jays just blow right by him.
Well, they fill the gaps. The problem is they're not wrapping the ball carriers. We've got 3 running backs or 2 running backs in the backfield. They're not wrapping up. Anybody that comes through that line, they got to tackle. I hate to say it, but they got to tackle.
Don't forget to tune in to Transition. Saturdays at 10 p.m. right here on United Artists 63 with your host, Jeffrey Miller. He'll take a look at the move of the proposed move of Chrysler to the Auburn Hills facility. That'll be next on Transition. The pitch goes out to Dexter down the sideline. Touchdown. He did not go out of bounds. And Dexter again with a touchdown. Ball from about the 19-yard line, so a 19-yard run for Nakia Dexter. 18 yards. And that'll put another nice run here by
There's
Dexter.
a good fake right here. He laterally goes down the line, and he pitches the ball out blindly. I'll tell you what, Michael Henry is showing a lot of intestinal fortitude by doing that, because anything could happen on that. The 2-point conversion is good, so they're up now 21-0.
21-0 the score, and you talk about time of possession at halftime. Kimball had the ball far longer than the Blue Jays did. They looked more impressive too with their drives, but they just stalled. And this time, the Southfield Blue Jays finally put together a nice drive.
Well, Dave, I was really impressed with the drive for Southfield for one particular reason. They were able to get the passing into that one. They were able to throw 2 good passes. He completed both of them. One on the comeback, we'll say, to Nakia Dexter. But Michael Henry was through. He had a lot of pressure on him, still got the ball off, completed it. So it was a real nice drive for him.
The extra point for 2 points is good. Hey, if you enjoy the action tonight, you will enjoy next week's game. Even more, Rochester Falcons taking on the Troy Athens Redhawks right here next week. On the return, here is Swan on the return, and he is shy of the 30-yard line, ball at about the 29, and that's where the Kimball Knights will start.
Derek Coltis was not back there that time, so he must still be on the bench, number 44. He was hurt on the last kickoff, so we've got Jay Swan back there now, who was hurt earlier in the game, but he's come back with an interception, has played a fine defensive game. Now he's in the back, returning the ball.
Here is the drive by Southfield, the first big drive they put together. 8 plays, time of possession 239, and total yards 51. So a good scoring drive for Southfield. The first time they've really put something like that together. They've relied on the big play. The pass is incomplete. Intended for Swan. He had to come back, similar to the pass that Dexter had to go back to for Southfield.
They're just trying a quick pass right here. They don't want to get in much trouble, because the further you go back, the longer the pass, more chances for a sack. That time he was open. The ball was thrown behind him. As you can see, a good call, incomplete pass.
2nd and 10 now for the Knights. Bringing the play in is Cox, number 12 for the Knights. Brad Martin has either had a lot of time or he's had to be flushed out of the pocket a few times, really. And they really haven't had a real big pass completion that they've been looking for. In motion is Swan. I formation in the backfield. The pitch goes to the tailback, Wisniewski. He cuts it outside and gains about 6 or 7 yards.
He tries to get around the corner here. Bloodshot 42 is going to try to turn him up, but 34 also is in there quickly. Watch this here, as you'll see Bloodshot come right there. Slows him down by the jersey, just enough to have the rest of the Southfield team catch up to him.
So be 3rd and about 3 coming up now for the Knights. Short yardage here on a 3rd down. Up top is Swan. Split down here at the bottom is Cox. I formation in the backfield. Martin to throw, and he's blindsided from behind by Michael Terry.
Michael Terry's been all over the field. He was in on the last tackle. He's been in on about 10 other ones. I'll tell you what, he just blitzed from the right side, the short side of the field, and he was never saw by Brad Martin. He goes back to pass, just hits him from the back. Watch him come in. Boom, last second he goes down. He'd have been sacked either way.
Loss of about 6. It's 4th and 9, and a punting down, and it's almost blocked down there.
Right.
And the Kimball Knights will stop it at about the 46-yard line. So the Blue Jays will take it there. And a penalty flag down.
I don't know how he didn't get that ball blocked. I really don't.
It was very close.
Must have went right through his hands as he went up to block it. Personal foul. You got to allow him to catch the ball.
Yeah, you heard the referee down on the field. That's enough out of you. I think he's talking to you, Bob.
No, I don't think so.
Don't forget to tune in to the Roadshow video program again with your hosts, Pat and Brad. And every Saturday and Monday, they'll take you to a new place in Southeast Michigan every month, right here on the Roadshow video. They bring you the best in pop music videos. And I hear you're going to be on that Master Angler show.
One of these days, he's going to get me out there. I've got a big fish waiting to.
I'm surprised I haven't seen a promo for that around here somewhere.
I don't think they're into fishing on this show.
This penalty
It's going to probably give him a first down, no?
Really going to hurt. It's going to hurt. Rather than having it at the 42-yard line, they bring it up to the 36 of Kimball, and the Blue Jays are looking real good right now for another score. Blue Jays lead 21-0, and the Kimball Knights have got to come up with a big stop or maybe even a turnover here. Henry takes it himself. He saw just a little bit of daylight and he took it. No flag and a touchdown.
What an amazing run. I'll tell you what, at least 3 or 4 times today I've seen him spin off of that. Watch the lateral movement here. He'll go down the line. Here's the fake handoff. Now watch him spin right here. Watch him turn. Boom. He turns and he sees the opening, and as soon as he does, he turns on them burners and he's gone, baby. Touchdown number 1.
Well, so many times the Southfield runners have broken into the backfield. There's nobody there to stop them because all of the Kimball Knights are up on the line of scrimmage and nobody's there. The extra point attempt is up and it is good. And it is 28-0. And the Southfield Blue Jays making a statement here in the SMA at the expense of the Kimball Knights.
You know, they've only had one really good drive, which was the touchdown before this. The rest of them have been set up by really big plays. Let's take a look. 68-yard run by Nikita Dexter in the first quarter. Second quarter, Henry, 68-yard run. Now here, a 34-yard run by Henry.
His second touchdown of the night. And the time on the clock, 1:15 left here in the third quarter. Kimball Knights have to do something and do something very quickly. Back to receive. There you see number 44, Derek Coltis.
All right, he's back in the game. That's good news. He was hurting earlier.
At his last return to start the second half. Also back there with him is number 25, Jay Swan. Blue Jays to kick off, and kicking off is number 33, Terrence McEvans. McEvans kicked it deep last time. Let's see if he does it again. This one at about the 16-yard line. Coltis takes it himself, spins outside, and then got pushed back into the traffic. And a good return out to about the 34, 33-yard line.
It wasn't a real high kick. It allowed him time to get under the ball and run it up his momentum. Good to see Coltis back. He made a nice return. Take a look at him following his blockers here. He gets a little too close to him because he's going to get his feet tangled up right here. Couple good tackles. 84 comes in, doesn't wrap him up. He's able to spin out of it. But that pile of humanity is just too much for him to come up. 31 with Southfield for the tackle.
The handoff this time goes to the tailback. And looked like number 32, and it was Wisniewski. Here's the scoring drive. One play, 23 seconds, 36 yards.
Well, time of possession isn't going to be their forte today. Yeah.
No. but the scoreboard will be, and that's what's most important for the Blue Jays. 23 seconds and winding down here in the third quarter. This might be the last play. I formation, 2 receivers split for Martin. And Martin hands to the tailback. Wisniewski nowhere to go. And clock winding down here in the third quarter. And the Knights are going to have some kind of fourth quarter to try to get back in this one. That'll end it here in the third quarter. And again, we have seen another score, this time 2 scores by the Blue Jays in that quarter. They have been consistent. They scored once in the first, once in the second, now twice in the third quarter. And the Blue Jays have built a 28-0 lead going into the fourth quarter here at Kimball High School. Don't forget to tune into Oakland Forum as we tackle issues directly affecting Oakland County. Right here on United Artists 63. That's Friday at 9 p.m. And the band down there on the field to try to cheer up these Kimball fans as they trail by 28 points. They've got the ball right now, 3rd and long. Back to passes, Martin. Martin intended out there for Swan. Swan hit it, and right there to hit him is number 32, Dexter. Nakia Dexter on a good defensive play there, not allowing Swan to make the reception.
Well, Dexter right here shows another athletic move. Swan goes out. He's open here for a second, but right here at the last second, he knocks him away from the ball because he had the ball in his hands. Kind of tipped it up. That kind of allows the defense to get under. That ball could have been intercepted.
So again, another punting situation now for the Kimball Knights. McLaughlin back to punt. And he gets a beauty off. And a good return. Look at this. Down the sidelines. And he will not go down. Finally. McLaughlin trying to drag him down, the punter on that one as number 33.
Take a look at the punt.
McEvans on the return.
It's a nice high punt. Should be getting good coverage on this one, but the speed right here just takes him right past the oncoming rush. And as he goes down, if it wasn't for the shirt tackle, or shirt grab, I should say, he was gone. It was a touchdown.
So here we go now in the fourth quarter. Again, the Blue Jays with good field position inside the 30-yard line at about the 27. This man through, and that is the fullback. Takes it. Rush, the fullback, with another big gain for the Blue Jays. Let's take a look at this run.
They've got to respect the fullback. I know Henry's been real tough on it, not pitching the ball out. This time they give it to the fullback, and a nice offensive hole opened up on that right-hand side by the guard and tackle. Rush takes the ball off for a nice gainer. They're in good position for a score again.
And here they go. This is it. Touchdown Rush. No flags down. And the Blue Jays are just running it up now.
Guard tackle play right there. They both sustained their block. One pushed in, one pushed out. Rush had a hole the size of a freight train and ran it through.
Rush from about the 14, 15-yard line as about 15-yard run.
Nothing real fancy about that play. They're just playing good, hard-nosed football. Of course, when you're up 28-0, you don't have to get too fancy.
The extra point attempt here by the left-footed Terrence McEvans. It is up. It is good. And it'll make the score 35-0. The Blue Jays keep piling it on, and it's nothing they're doing. They're just taking it in one play. It's not like they're rubbing anything in. They're just doing it.
Well, they've had some really, really big plays. That time the key was the punt return, which set him up in good position. But take a look right here at the tackle and the guard. Look at the hole that they give him. Right there, he had a nice hole and showed some good speed, popping it right through, ran through an arm tackle for the touchdown.
He ran by the defensive end of the Kimball Knights, who really is worried about Michael Henry.
For good reason.
He didn't know who to get.
Absolutely.
And that is why he just completely ran right by the defensive end.
Michael Henry's speed and his ability to hand the ball off quickly or to pitch the ball is really making the difference in this game. The Kimball Knights don't know who to tackle. If they don't go after Henry or they don't go after the pitch man, that leaves that fullback wide open, and he's taking advantage of what they're giving him.
It has been all Blue Jays tonight. 11:15 left in the game. And the Southfield Blue Jays starting conference play on a good note here in the SMA. Nick Evans with a good kick. A high kick taken about the 15, and a good return here. Tripped up and just shy of the 35-yard line. They'll mark it over to the 35 to the 36. Forward progress.
I'm impressed with Coltis. He really attacks the line well. He gets the ball. Here's a nice look at the kick here. But Coltis takes the ball, and you're going to see right here, he catches the ball on the run.
And he goes straight upfield with it.
And he goes straight upfield with it.
No nonsense running right here.
Well, you got to do that in order to get a lot of the yards back. He's listed at 5'5", 150. If it wasn't tripped, he had a really nice seam to go.
Back to the action, the handoff to the first man through. Ouch. Everybody's whistle going on that one.
Nothing fancy about that. Straight handoff, second down, and there's about 6 yards to go here. They need to open it up if they want to get back in this game. 10 minutes, 27 seconds and counting to go. They're down by 5 touchdowns.
Hartman and Wisniewski in the backfield. The pass complete to Swan. He may have picked up the first down on the forward motion, and he did.
He just pushed back, but it was a nice quick pass. That's how they were successful in the first half. On the quick 2-3 step drop, and this is what he does. Takes the ball back, 2-3 steps, 1, 2, 3. The quick hitch on a slant. Receiver takes the ball, almost fumbled it there, and gets the first down.
A lot of white shirts, too. He split the seam, and a good pass by Martin to get it complete to Swan. I formation in the backfield. The up back is Hartman. Wisniewski, the tailback. The handoff to Hartman, breaks into the backfield, and a first down carry. A big run, 11 yards for Hartman. Now Daryl Hartman making his presence known.
Opening up a little bit. Let's take a look at the offensive line here. They're going to take the ball straight up blocking. He goes over to left tackle, right tackle, takes the ball up, and 2 good tackles there by Southfield. 3 people, 4 people on the tackle, and that's what makes the difference in this game. The Kimball has been wrapping them up.
Ball just shy of the 40-yard line. First and 10 there. And Martin throws this one right behind Swan. He has done that a couple of times, and he does that a few more times. Swan isn't going to be able to get up.
Well, it's a good thing he knocked the ball down because the defensive back was in position to make the interception and the ball got by him. He stuck his hand up, and I think, if anything, it was a good defensive play. Look right here. He knocks the ball down. Look where the defensive back was behind him. In great position for the interception.
Second down and 10 now. Martin back to pass. Fakes and will go deep. Down the sideline and intercepted. Intercepted by Terrence McEvans. And he was just like a center fielder, just waiting for that one.
Threw the ball too much inside. Nichols was open on the outside. He threw the ball too much inside. Nichols couldn't run underneath it. There was 2 defensive backs back there.
Well, had Nichols come back, I don't know if the referee was watching, but he almost went out of bounds, and I don't know if he can come back in.
You can't, only if you're pushed out of bounds. That's the only way you can.
I don't know if anybody
I don't think
pushed
anybody
him,
touched him. I really don't.
But that does not matter right now as the Blue Jays get the ball back. 35-0 the score. And the Kimball Knights have been struggling tonight to try to get back into this one from really the first half. In there now, new quarterback, number 20, Otis Floyd. Floyd handing off to the first man through, and that is number 42, Glenn Bloodsaw. Bloodsaw, we called his number a lot on defense. This time he gets to run it offensively.
Floyd's only a sophomore, so he's getting some valuable experience here. He's going to be probably the starter next year unless somebody comes up tough, but he's trying to fill in some big shoes for Michael Henry. Let's see if he's got the same quickness.
Wishbone shown with some new numbers back there for the Blue Jays. First man through, and that is again Bloodsaw And this time they just knock them sideways. Not much of a gain.
Kimball's throwing both linebackers up at the line of scrimmage to try to throw off the quarterback, to try to scare him a little bit, actually. As you pump through there, you can get in big trouble for a young guy.
As we wind down this game, we remind you next week, it's the Rochester Falcons against the Troy Athens Redhawks at Troy Athens, Saturday and Monday at 7 p.m. right here on United Artists 63.
We'll be there, rain or shine.
That's right.
Hopefully the shine part.
Hopefully. I think they have a heated press box, though, just
That's
in case.
wonderful.
Wishbone formation, and this time keeping it, and maybe a mix-up in the backfield.
They might have a
is
heated press box, but they don't have the hospitality that we got here.
That's right. Great hospitality. We'd like to thank the Kimball High School here for the great, with the skybox, we'd like to call it.
That's it, the skybox. Luxury. Little late hit.
Let's take a look. Maybe it might have been a problem with the snap here, Bob.
Handoff.
Yeah, handoff.
Yep,
there
looks
it
like he
is.
wasn't able to pull it back out. Gonna see a little late hit here, possibly. These boys are getting a little frustrated. It's 35-0. They've got to get their licks in. Yep.
Dexter to punt for the Blue Jays. And it's a long line drive punt and a good one. And you know what? They're going to pick it up at the 50. But
he loses a yard.
Wisniewski got buried. I don't know. He might have just wanted to let that ball go. Next time, he may think about that one. The Kimball Knights will get it back now with 6:53 left in the game. And just try to get something on the board here.
Well, they've got excellent field position right here. They've got nothing to lose. They can't go for it all in one play. I mean, obviously, at this point, it's very difficult to win. Let's get some points on the board. Let's not have a shutout. Let's go back to your game plan. Throw that short hitch pass. Open the game up. They probably have a couple defensive people in there that haven't played all day.
Two receivers split. The handoff goes to number 23. Big break now outside for Hartman. Hartman inside the 20-yard line to about the 16. Let's see where they'll mark it.
And you know who made the tackle, Dave? Otis Floyd. The man who took over from Michael Henry also took over for him in the backfield. Look at this quick hitter. He waits just that 1 second. Hartman shows some really good speed here getting the outside. And if it wasn't for Floyd making this good tackle right here, you can see him come up, shows a lot of speed, knock him out of bounds. He plays both ways just like his counterpart, Michael Henry.
Hartman got inside the 25 to about the 22-yard line. Hartman again on the carry, and we've got flags, fumble as well. So everything you could ask for on this one.
Looks like Southfield got the ball back. Let's see what the call is going to be.
Fumble and a penalty, and let's see who it's going against. Holding on the offense, and that's declined. It'll be first down.
But they didn't even ask him, Dave.
They didn't ask him.
That. Yeah, I think you have to ask him by law or something like
so.
that. Well, here's the play. We probably won't be able to see the holding here, so it's going to happen very quickly. But let's take a look at the fumble. Do we see what happened? He goes into the pile. He just loses the ball. Nobody really hit him. There's the ball right there. Who gets it? Number 61, possibly?
Yeah.
Looks like he dives right in the pile there. That's James Hunt. Looks like he came up with the ball.
6:05 and counting down here in the fourth quarter. And again, the Blue Jays with possession. So time of possession at halftime is flip-flopped over to the Blue Jays now. Here's the quarterback, takes it himself. Otis Floyd breaks it outside, and a first down and more for the Blue Jays.
So he's pretty tough to bring down, too.
So Otis Floyd picks up a first down for the Blue Jays, and they're in business again on another drive.
By the way, it was Omari Lewiston on the fumble recovery. Getting back to this play, let's watch Otis Floyd here. He takes the ball down the line. Defensive end came up and sealed, so he took the ball himself. Shows some good speed getting out. He's got the ball in the right hand on the sideline. Shows a stiff arm there.
Yeah.
And
if Michael Henry goes on this year, they've got a good one next year.
There you go. Uh-oh.
On the carry, Bloodsaw, and he is stacked up at the line of scrimmage.
Almost didn't get that ball to him. I saw a lot of the ball as he tried to tuck it away.
Michael Henry graduates this year, school year. So watch number 20 next year, Otis Floyd. Doing a fine job so far with this second string offense. Right now, they've got to hurry up and get a play called because they're going to get called for delay of game. 4:45 and counting down, 2nd and 10 now for the Blue Jays. Get the play off, and the handoff to the first man through. That is Bloodsaw again with a big game. Glenn Bloodsaw with probably his biggest gain of the night, and that'll boost his average up a little bit.
Here's the wishbone in the backfield. The first man through is Bloodsaw. Straight handoff. You could take a look at it right there. Over pursuit by the defense. He pops the ball right up and runs past about 4 guys. Just good hard-nosed football.
And another first down for the Blue Jays into Kimball territory. Ball at about the 47. 1st and 10 now for Southfield. Wishbone. And pretty much just straight running plays now on the carry, number 23. That is David Caldwell.
Well, I got a feeling Cal Fletcher's going to keep the ball on the ground. Obviously, he doesn't want his defense scored on. Shutout's going to look real good in the newspaper. And the longer he can keep the ball, the longer his defense is going to stay off the field. And I think that's what he's going to try to do.
2nd down and about 8 coming up now for the Blue Jays.
Of course, every time I say that, he throws a pass, you understand?
That's Cal.
Yeah.
We deserve this. You know that?
Wishbone again, and watch for those running plays. Here's Floyd, cuts up, and
he's still not down.
He's still not down. He just shows you some good ability in the skill positions. A little extra shoving going on after the whistle. And it'll bring up a 3rd and short yardage coming up, 3rd and about 4 for the Blue Jays, and clock winding down to 3:10 left in the game.
Well, he shows a lot of slippiness here, a la Michael Henry. But take a look right here. Nice fake. He turns the ball up.
Good decision,
and look at this.
too.
He does not want to go down. He's up. He turns. He spins. He's got 3 or 4 guys. I guess maybe they stopped him from doing it. He got 5 guys trying to hold him up, it looks
More
like.
than that.
It's like a dance party, you know.
3rd down, about 4. Floyd takes it himself. He is hung up and finally brought down by number 66. And that is Sawtell, Ed Sawtell.
Lincoln Garrett, who was in the backfield that time, basically went too far out of his range. He was looking to pitch the ball to him. He wasn't there, so he had to keep it. 4th down, we'll probably see a punt here. Try to bury him deep. 2 minutes and 22 seconds left here in the ball game. Time dwindling down. I know the Kimball Knights want to put some points on the board before they go.
And the Blue Jays aren't going to let him do it because they're going to try to bury him deep. In there to punt is Dexter. Nakia Dexter, the punter, has time and unloads a beauty. This one is inside the 15-yard line and down at about the 13. And a long way to go for the Kimball Knights now.
Kimball had everybody up on the line, nobody back trying to block it. They figured they got to try to make something happen. There's a flag down here. It looks like it's going against Southfield.
So they're going to bring it back. They want better field position than this.
I would think they would want a chance to return it if they don't block it.
So
The wind's
let's see.
starting to pick up a little bit. That the flag is pretty much blowing straight out now.
That was a good punt for Dexter. He
Against
was
the wind
kicking
kinda
against
too,
the wind.
yeah.
Yeah, that was going to be my point. Illegal procedure.
There's the flag. You can see right now we're gusting at about 15 to 20 miles an hour. And it's picked up quite a bit here in the last 5 minutes, actually.
Yeah, and tell you what, now my papers are starting to fly around.
He doesn't look too happy yet.
A future Kimball Knight, and he is not happy with the score
There's
right
a
now.
bad
snap. Uh-oh, look out. Here's Dexter taking it himself. This could backfire. But the Kimball Knights finally get him out of bounds. So it works out well for the Knights as they'll get it right around the 40-yard line.
I'll tell you what, he was close to getting a first down.
He was just a couple yards short. It's about 3 yards short of getting a first down. Let's take a look.
Watch
as
the
the broken
snap.
play.
Snap's going to take a couple hops before it gets to Dexter. Just one hop, nice big one, luckily right in his breadbasket. And he was able to show some speed here, run by 4 or 5 guys. But that man right there made him stumble just enough for the defense to catch up to him, push him out of bounds, short of the first down. And the Kimball Knights will have one more try here with 1:38 left in the ball game.
1st and 10 ball on the 40. In Kimball territory. Handoff to Wisniewski into the backfield. Wisniewski breaks it open and out of bounds and down rather at the 35-yard line of the Blue Jays. That's the biggest gain for Wisniewski tonight and probably one of the brightest spots for the Knights.
I'll tell you what, he showed some really good speed here, popping out. Takes the ball up the middle. Now watch, right here he's going to decide to go out. And this is where he turns on the afterburners. Floyd catches him again. That's the second time that Otis Floyd has stopped the touchdown and throws him down pretty hard. Boom. Nice tackle. And a nice run. Let's give him credit there.
Down at the 35 of Southfield. 1:10 left in the game. Martin with two backs in the backfield and two receivers split. And it's happened all night, Bob. Every drive, something has happened to set back either team, really.
Well, you heard of the word inertia. What goes in motion stays in motion. Jeremiah Walters is 6'6", 300 pounds. You can't stop it once you get going.
And you know what? He's a sophomore. So he couldn't stop himself from moving forward, and that'll put the Kimball Knights back 5 yards. 1st and 15 now. A counter inside. This works. Swan into the backfield. And a good chunk of yardage back for the Knights. That'll get him inside the 30.
Well, more importantly, he kept them in bounds, which is the key here because time is running down. I don't think they're going to call a timeout. I don't think at this point they'll probably rub salt into the wounds at this point to call timeout.
25 seconds and counting down. This could be the last play of the game right here.
Let's air it up. Let's see what happens.
2nd down and about 4. Martin on another counter. They hit him in the backfield, fumble, and it'll look like Martin got it back.
Well, that will be the last play of the game.
And that'll do it as the clock runs out.
It's pretty appropriate for the way that the game went for the Kimball Knights for that to happen there in the last play.
So the last play ends in a fumble, and not a very good night for the Kimball Knights, as the Southfield Blue Jays really took it to them, 35-0 tonight. Pretty good matchup, though, in the first half. You didn't expect it to get away like it did.
Well, you know, I think Kimball has a lot better team than they showed here today. They've got a decent-sized team. They also got some decent speed in the backfield with a decent quarterback. So they've got a lot of things going for them. They've got to put this game behind them and realize that they've got 5 more games left or 6 more games left and go from there.
The Blue Jays go to 3-0 on the season and are very happy, needless to say. The Kimball Knights go to 2-1. We'll be back with the final stats for you and to wrap it up here at Kimball High School right after these messages. Stay with us.
Announcing Digital Music Express. 30 channels of CD quality music. 24 hours a day. No interruptions, no talk. Just pure CD quality music. Digital Music Express, coming soon through your cable system.
Call United Artists Cable to order DMX Music Express.
The final score here at Kimball High School, the Southfield Blue Jays 35 and the Kimball Knights nothing in this first contest for both teams in the SMA. And let's take a look at the final stats for you, and pretty telling tale here. Passing 20 yards for Southfield. They didn't need that at all because they've got 376 total yards rushing, 396 total, I should say, 376 coming on the ground, 3 turnovers, and only 5 first downs with all that yardage they got.
Well, they didn't need first downs, as I was told. I'll just get touchdowns. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, the time of possession really evened out with all of that yardage and the quick drives that they had. In fact, they probably gained most of that yardage in the last quarter there.
They were there.
Most of the time, I should say.
Yeah, the time came up with the third quarter. They had one nice drive, particularly the third drive. The third touchdown capped off by the 18-yard pass to Dexter, and then the 2-point conversion also to Dexter. So that took a lot of time off the clock, and that's where they got most of it back.
On Kimball's side, pretty telling tale there. Passing only 45, 112 rushing for a total of 157, 4 turnovers, 4 first downs, and the time of possession pretty even, as we said. And Terry Powers really disappointed on this home game here for the Kimball Knights. And really, it's the first kickoff game for the SMA, too.
Well, basically, they took themselves out of the game, and they gave up the big play, and that made the difference. They didn't play that bad a game, and I think they're going to come back. They just need to get, basically get this out of their system, and they've got 6 games left, so a lot of time left in the season.
Okay, 35-0 the score here. Don't forget to tune in next week when we've got the Rochester Falcons taking on the Troy Athens Redhawks. That's Saturday and Monday at 7 o'clock right here on United Artists 63. For Bob Griglak and all of us here at United Artists Sports, thanks for tuning in, and see you next week at Troy Athens. Again, the final score, 35-0 Blue Jays over the Knights.